Hello and welcome everybody. It is I, Aura Expert, and we are back. So let's go ahead and get into the meat and potatoes of this video, right? We have the patch notes. The live stream just ended a few hours ago at the time of recording this video. It's 10 a.m. I just got off work and I didn't get to see the live stream or the patch notes. I got to saw a little bit of amazing stuff just here and there because he was the only one live streaming it. But I didn't get the full context of the update. All I know from like the top of my head is that Sabunak got a buff, which is fucking crazy. But Sabunak also got a holy relic, which is crazy because I called that. I called that a few days ago, saying that Sabunak's gonna get a holy relic. They're gonna get the nightmare characteristic, but they didn't get the nightmare characteristic exactly. We'll talk about that when we get there. But most of the stuff that I said in my Salos might be a banger festival video, it was true. It was true. Just to pat myself on the back a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But regardless though, we're gonna move into this dope looking character. First off, her art amazing. She looks gorgeous. New hero, Chains of Despair, Nightmare Salos. And then her name is S-A-L-O-S. I spelled her name Salos. Yeah, okay. So her name is officially S-A-L-O-S. That's good. So I can have that written down for future reasons. And then 200 diamonds through check-in. 220 Eve draws, which is that free banner that's already been in the game for the week. You can win 600 draws with the lucky event, or 600 diamonds. Are you going to do that? Probably not. But if you do end up winning, you know, a high amount of diamonds, let me know in my Discord or comment section or whatever. Because I have yet to see someone actually win one of these big prizes from my own personal view. So I'm very interested to see how that's going to go. But regardless, Salos is a dope looking character. I haven't seen her model. I have not seen her model, and I don't know what her cosmetics look like. And I don't know what she does, and I do not know what Sabunak's buffs and her holy relic does. I just know they exist. I didn't read into it yet. This is going to be my first time reading into it. So, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and see exactly what we got going on here. Salos looks good. She does. They even gave her jiggle physics. W game. W game. Yeah, Salos looks dope. She's dragging a book behind? Okay. Nah, she looks cool. I like her. I do think her design is better than Sabunak. Sabunak is cute, but like Salos just got that drip on her. I'm gonna be real. They made her green. I don't know why they did that, but then again, I guess it does make sense because Sabunak is red, so she would be green, and then the third sister Citri would be blue. That makes a lot of sense realistically, but I digress. It would have looked cooler on her card if she was blue and her attribute was blue, so it just looked better stylistically. But regardless, she's not blue, she's green, and we'll just have to deal with it what we can. They got Mael Sabunak, which is a W, because she hasn't been on the banner in a long time. King of the End and Demon King. It's also pretty solid stuff. Let's go ahead and see what she does, though. Let me go ahead and click here. Boop. Let's zoom in a little bit. Oh, is that her, like, actual art? Ooh, her cut-in looks really cool. I like it. Her cut-in is cute. She's cute. It is what it is. I do like her design and the heterochromia thing she got going on. Now, granted, Grand Cross has the worst assets of all time, so as you can clearly see, and as I can clearly see, this PNG is like the worst rendered PNG of all time. But yeah, I can tell it's good art. It looks great. They just don't know how to render things over to their game, which is so unfortunate. Because this is really good. There's no reason for us to get low quality images for our forums and dev notes and patch notes and stuff. Which, by the way, they did also release a dev notes. We will be talking about that in this video as well. So, let's go ahead and move on what she actually does. I have no idea. And yes, she's unknown. Makes sense. Of course she is. All stats of applicable allies decreased by 4%, and her damage taken is decreased by 20% for each one participating in battle. For each one? Hold the hell up. Wait. Okay, that wording is interesting because it's in yellow text or orange text, depending on where you're looking at it. But you get 4% and 20% damage reduction for each one participating in battle, which means if you have the full team, which is Unknowns, Sacrifice. Oh, okay, so they're called Sacrifice. They're not called the Nightmare Sisters. Ah, that's fine, whatever. Sacrifice works. But Unknowns, Sacrifice, and Catastrophes. So if you have, you know, all three of them, you will have a 12% all stat increase and a 60% damage reduction? Or is it 4 and 20 for each? I feel like them specifying for each one is very specific. I feel like they're gonna have 60% damage reduction and 12% attack or all stats, which is kind of cracked, kind of crazy. 60% damage reduction is not Gojaban crazy, but for unknowns and catastrophes and now sacrifice, that's pretty wild. I'm not gonna lie. Ooh, okay, sure, it's a good little stat thing. But what does she do as a character? Grants themselves and the sacrifice or the 7 catastrophe ally hero with the highest HP. Chains of Covenant at the start of battle. So I'm assuming again sacrifices Sabunak and her. So yeah, that just makes it so that these characters work together now. Because Sabunak as a standalone unit that's not a catastrophe, that's part of the catastrophe storyline, didn't really work with anybody. But now that Salos is out, they're gonna be really good together. It's gonna be so fun. The waifu team is gonna be crazy. Chains of Covenant though, all stats are increased by 10%, and their basic stats are increased by 50% of Salos's initial stats. Ooh, that's tough. That's a really strong Covenant passive thing. The problem though is that it's the initial stats, which means she's gonna be a whale heavy character if you want to maximize this. Because if you don't know how initial stats work in this game, initial stats is not the additive stats you get once the battle starts. It's the stats that you load into the game with, which means your equipment, your cosmetics, your ult level, because technically that does increase your base stats, and your actual stats themselves. So that's gonna be pretty good depending on what her CC looks like and her like basic stats. But that's pretty good. And then it also decreases final damage taken by 40% when damage taken from an enemy skill. Oh, cool. And she's immune to stat decrease, so she has a little bit of goddess in her. Okay. Chains of Covenant's kind of crazy. It's not insanely overhyped. It's not insanely broken, at least not on paper. But this sounds really strong. Because the thing about the unknowns and catastrophes and the sacrifice characters, and the problem with them is that A, Sabunak and the catastrophes, they just don't tank. They are not tanky characters. LR Lilia was like on the right path to fixing that problem, but the characters are so outdated and shit that giving them a 50% damage cap didn't really help the characters. They still will die in 2 cards. It didn't help. And then once mono dropped, which by the way, if you have that red mono, her value just went up. I'm gonna be so real. But I'll get to that when LR Roxy drops, because she is not in this patch notes. But once LR Roxy drops, red mono stocks are flying. Okay? But the main problem with those characters is that they don't tank that well. And when you don't tank that well, and you get a character like this that has a bunch of damage reduction and final damage taken reduced, I think realistically that they should be able to, you know, tank a lot better. But that being said, this is really only counting for Salos and Sabunak and insert random catastrophe character, which is probably gonna be someone like LR Lilia, because she's like the only good one, even though she doesn't work on anyone but catastrophes. You could probably run Camilla in the backline for this team, yeah. But there's no telling who you would use for the third character. You can use Unknown, sure, and I guess you can run LR Gother, because LR Gother is also really good, and he's debuff based. So he would work with this team. I don't know. The catastrophe portion, I think that like they do that all the time, where they just add shit to the character just to make it feel fulfilling. Like for instance, Percival, he works on humans and fairies. We know damn well that man is not a fairy, and in the game he's not classified as a fairy, and you're never gonna run him on a fairy comp ever. But he does work with fairies if you feel bored. I think that's what they're doing with the 7 catastrophe part of the passive, because none of the catastrophes work with their own races. They only work with each other. That's like 90% of them. And the ones that do work for all humans or all unknowns, they're either Camilla, who's a subslot character, Easton, who's a subslot character for humans, or that's about it. Everyone else is human centered. So yeah, that's a throwaway characteristic just to throw in the passive. I get it, but it is what it is. Moving on. When an ally uses Chain of Covenant on an ally, the enemy is inflicted with Cursed Chains for 1 turn. Cursed Chains attack related stats is lowered by 20%, and it stacks up to sit 3 times. What the fuck? When an ally with Chains of Covenant uses a skill on it, or if an enemy uses a skill on it. That is broken! Huh? Wait. Hold on. That is actually insane. Because let's say for instance you're running attack crit Salos and you're running HP defense Sabunak, just to guarantee that Sabunak will always have the highest HP on your team, which would guarantee her get the Chains of Covenant. If you use 2 of her AoEs, the game is over. they're not doing damage. 60% attack related stats lowered, you're not doing damage. On top of that, Sabunak's kit is gonna attack, seal you, stun you, or whatever it feels like doing. That is broken. And it stacks 3 times. So if you use 3 AoEs, which potentially could happen if you top deck a Sabunak card, you just win the game. 60% attack would be crazy, but it's 60% attack related stats. So you're not critting, you're not piercing, you're not doing any of that. That low key is probably the craziest part of the passive. So whoever has Chains of Covenant is just gonna break the game. Low key. That is kind of wicked, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, you're probably going to want to buff up Sabunak with this and probably run her on attack crit just to make sure that she's not the one that gets it, unless Salo has 2 AoEs or her skills are actually strong. Then sure, you can make it so that she has the highest HP and she will always get the Covenant buff, which would be pretty cool, and it probably will work, but we'll see when we get to the cards and stuff. We're still reading it, we're still taking it all in as we talk. Now moving on. When an ally with Chains of Covenant attacks an enemy afflicted by Curse Chains, their attack related stats increase by 30%. Yeah, GG's. So basically, let's say you have Salos, Sabunak, go through. Sabunak has Chains of Covenant because she has the highest HP. Let's say you double attack with Sabunak the first turn. Now they're lower by 40%, so they're probably not gonna kill Sabunak realistically, unless this buff is not that great. But with all of these final damage reductions and actual damage reductions and stuff like that, and the all-stat increase, I don't think Sabunak can die turn 1. Until power creep comes around, I don't think she's going to be able to die turn 1, right? So you use 2 AoEs, you do whatever Salos does with her attack or whatever she has, and then it's their turn, they attack you. They then give themselves Curse Chains. So all you have to do at that point is attack one more time with Sabunak. She'll get the 30% attack related stats. I don't know if it's before or after the skill. I'm assuming it's going to be after this, because it says when an ally afflicts damage to an enemy with Curse Chain. So I assume it's after the skill. Yeah, she'll be hitting like a truck. That's kind of wild. And then I see this red text right here. Inflicts additional damage equal to 600% of the target's defense when the hero uses it. So you want to run her an attack defense or HP defense for sure. You don't want to run attack crit. Or there's no way you're running triple defense. You're stupid if you do that. Unless you got a 6/6. Because I think that's a 6/6 multiplier. There's no way it's 600% at rank 1 or 1/6. There's just no way. But yeah, that's just a nothing burger of a passive. Or that portion exactly. Now, moving on to the Unity. We have increased HP related stats of all allies with the Unity effect by 15% and decrease their defense related stats by 5%. What? Wait, what? This Unity's retarded. I'm gonna be real. Huh? How are you gonna go from you do 600% of your defense as damage into your defense related stats are lower by 5%? That includes defense, by the way. So yeah, that's a nothing burger of a passive portion, the defense thing. Attack defense does not fucking matter. Just run attack crit if you really want to go crazy. Or HP defense, whatever. And the Unity is cool, I guess. Increase HP related stats of everyone with a Unity effect. So you can, because Sabunak has one, Salos will have one, your third character can have one. If you put like Hell or Skuld's Unity on that third character, because those also stack with characters that have a Unity effect, I think you can get some good stats out of that. Because if you didn't know, some of the Ragnarok characters, like, they have the same kind of Unity where some of them are very specific to the character that it's equipped on, while other Unities are for whoever has a Unity. So genuinely speaking, this could work well. It's a good Unity. It just makes the defense part of this passive irrelevant. So it is what it is. Moving on to the skills. Single target. Okay, cool. So yeah, she's going to be the interesting character. Wave of Torment. Oh, isn't that the same name of Easton's skill? Am I tripping? It's something similar, right? Either way. Inflicts chain damage equal to 500% of attack on one enemy. Chain damage is 5 times pierce. Of course it is, because darkness exists. They need to make sure she can do damage to darkness. Even though 5 times crit or pierce is not enough. We saw this on Tristan. It didn't do anything. So they made it crazy on Escanor Merlin. Gave it pierce rate as well. Or not pierce rate. They gave it like ignore defense as well. So now it works. But the 5 times pierce, it'll do damage to darkness. It's not going to kill her in one card unless it's like a rank 3 or she's Giga Insane. But 5 times pierce rate, Increase attack by 80% when using skills. Damage dealt is increased by 150% while Chains of the Covenant is active on self. So you want her to have Chains of Covenant. You don't want it on an ally. So you want her to be HP crit or some shit, because Chains of Covenant is going to go on the highest HP. If you want her to do damage with a single target, she's going to need to have the most HP. So she's probably going to have to be run on HP defense. Okay, cool. And then her other attack is a AoE. Inflicts binding chain damage equal to 300% of attack. Binding chain is crit chance crit damage of a ×3 multiplier, and 70% chance for each cursed chain's effect on a target when used. Yeah, 100% run her on HP crit. I think that's my final verdict. I'm gonna run her on HP crit because this is kind of nuts, and you want her to have Chains of Covenant at all times. So I'm gonna run her on HP crit for sure. That's gonna be my choice. And then her ultimate, it's an ultimate, it's a AoE ultimate, and it's probably broken. Okay? Doesn't matter. Beautiful! Let's fucking go. Hold on, chat. Lock in. We finally have a ultimate that isn't a 2/6 requirement to get the entire passive effect. Thank God. So you can get her at 1/6 and you can stop there. But for the whales out there, you would, let's see these numbers here. To get the maximum effect, you will need to get them 5/6, because at 5/6, actually, it depends. I wouldn't even say 5/6, because let's see, the basic stats is probably the best part of her passive, and then the final damage reduction is also pretty good, but the additional damage is useless. No one gives a fuck about this. You're not gonna have that much defense anyway, so it's really between these two, which is basic stats and final damage. I'm going to say final damage is more of a priority because the catastrophes are so squishy. I think you're gonna need that final damage. I don't care about basic stats. I'm sure she'll be just fine. So realistically, to get the bang for your buck on this character, you're gonna need to get her 2/6, because 2/6 is where she gets her maximum final damage reduction. I think that's way more important than any other stat on this menu of ultimate skill stuff. Infinitely more. It's way more important to defense. Basic stats, yeah, sure, it's not that important, but yeah, it's fine. You have support characters for a reason. She doesn't need to do that much work. And then the unity is trash, who cares? And the attack is, it's an attack. It's probably going to kill on 1/6 anyway. So yeah, 2/6 is probably the goal for this character, for sure. Now, let's keep on going here. Let's look at the banner, right? We have our UR characters here, but what's the banner actually looking like? Ugh. The banner is trash. Okay, like, out of the URs, Mael's the only one that's useless here, because he does nothing. Goddesses don't have a purpose in PvE, except for Needhogger, which is easy content. And there's like 4 replacements for this one character. So, King of the Ants, Sabunak, and Demon King are Ws. So that's a good start there. In terms of SSRs, though, the ones that are useful, I mean, Dark Hell is useful. She's the only character that can solo Endura, and she's also good for Hollow Warriors. If you know, you know. That floor is toxic. Light Mael, useless. But if you don't have him, Grace, I guess. So he's not completely invalid. Like a 50-50 with him. Cusack is the best LR in the game. He's 100% worth pulling. Light Bond is out of meta. He's not doing anything unless you need help in Hero Arena because you don't have Gojo Bond. Then sure, you can pull for Light Bond. But realistically, you're not doing that. So I'll say that's also a 50-50. Red Droll, 100% W. We need that. He hasn't been on the banner since he dropped. That's a good pick right there. Green Scotty is low-key trash. Blue Freyr is good for Endura. Nauseance is meta-defining for PvE and Guild Wars. Or not Guild Wars. Guild Boss, Knighthood Boss stuff. You need to get Nauseance. That's a mandatory character right there. Esteros is useless. Percival is useless. Pelgard's good for Hero, Hollow Warriors. That's it. Red Yorm is the staple for Rat. 100% worth pulling. Tristan is useless. Bond is useless. And everyone else after that is useless. Except for Roxy because she's getting an LR. So I'd imagine she's not going to be useless anymore. But we will have to see about that. And then we can acquire either Sabunak or Salos at the guarantee 900. Okay, cool. And then also each one of the milestones is also a chance at a UR, which is pretty good. Now, outside of that, the banner itself and the character itself looks pretty strong. I do like what I saw. Is it going to kill Escanor Merlin? I don't know. Because the team itself, which is going to be Sabunak and Salos, and then insert random fucking unit there. I don't think they have enough to break the shield of Escanor Merlin right now, but maybe Sabunak buff go crazy. So, let's keep on going. We're on Chapter 3, Disintegration. We have Sentry, and Salos. I need Sentry or Sentry, whatever. Sure. Oh, these are her outfits. Cool. Let's see. Did they cook? The first outfit is cool. It looks cute. I like it. The nurse outfit, that's nice. A little pseudo Halloween-esque fit, and the cleavage is out there for the world. So yeah, not a bad outfit there either. And then the casual fit, the oversized t-shirt, the strap over. Yeah, I like it. Is that socks? A towel? Is that her fucking underwear, my nigga? Or is that a mask? I don't know what that is. That's crazy if that is what I think it is. That black thing. Either way. W outfits, I like all three of them, honestly. They're pretty good, actually. That's a first in like a long time where we got 3 decent cosmetics. New card set that I don't really care about, but if you do, you can pause the video and read there. I don't care. I'm probably never going to use it. Book of Heroes got an update. Cool. And the Holy Relic for Sabunak. Okay, what does this relic do? Oh, it also has the buffs and stuff. So I'm just gonna read the red stuff. We already know what Sabunak does. So now she increases the hero's crit defense by 20% for each applicable ally in the battle, which is unknown sacrifice and catastrophes, which is good. She didn't work with catastrophes at first at all, so that's interesting. Okay. And then now her things give applicable allies damage taken by 30% and her damage taken by 50%. Okay, that's cool. So basically, they added a lot of damage reduction to Sabunak's passive. And then you can also inflict Dark Moon damage now with the shield. Okay. And now her first skill also has triple crit chance of crit damage. Her second skill has an attack-related stat buff when she uses the skill, which is like their favorite thing to slap on the characters these days. Her ultimate's the exact same. So yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. It's very small, very minute stuff, but Sabunak's already a UR character. It's not like they needed to rework the whole character. Just give her more damage and more damage reduction, and that's exactly what they did. So yeah, the character should be relatively usable nowadays, especially with the new Holy Relic. Increases applicable stats of allies by 4% for each one participating in battle, sacrifice, and catastrophe. Remove all debuffs from the hero when gaining Dark Moon Shield. That's pretty good for mirror matches. If the hero has a Dark Moon Shield buff, applicable allies damage taken from enemy skills does not exceed 60% of her max HP. So she gives damage cap on her Holy Relic. That's perfect because you're not going to do enough damage anyway. So now you're going to guarantee that you're not dying the first turn. Or at least when you go first. If you go second, you might be fucked. No, this was good. This is really good. Okay, that Holy Relic is pretty nice. Don't care about that. Let's see, new bundles. Nothing crazy. It's probably a bunch of same stuff, paid stuff. If you like what you see while I'm scrolling, go ahead and stop and look at it. Me, on the other hand, I don't really care as much because I'm pseudo free to play now. So the special mission, we're going to get the Sabunak outfit from the story. So her original outfit. Sorry about that. Little phone call. That was interesting. So yeah, we're getting Sabunak's outfit. We're getting half a multi here, and I'm assuming we're gonna get the other half from her hero trial, which is basically just one and done because they're the same thing. So you get one free multi, and then the sisters. God, I need her. The red one is so sick. I need her. I do. And then that's her windscreen. I have like, bro, like upload better quality, bro. I don't get it. I could upload better with a screenshot. How do you upload this and it gets worse in quality than the actual game itself? Like, genuinely, if a fan made a fucking wiki page and just took a screenshot from any phone, any device, it would come out better than this. I don't understand how they fuck this up every time. But we have Sacrifice and Sanctuary? Okay, new little final boss kind of thing, event boss kind of thing, something like that. Or is this her? No, that's her hero trial. We'll see. Moving on, keep it on, moving on. Bro, is that fucking Chandler, bro? What is that? Who is this? What is this? A dreamy night, shady peddler girl. But that's literally fucking Chandler. What is it? So I put whole selected material. Do you want to remove? What the fuck? When you access this via the banner, located at the top left of the main screen, one draw can be performed every 600 points and up to 10 draws. Okay, so you get a Hawk and Oslo little band for Bond, Gother, and Eliotis. And then 100 of these coins. Okay. They didn't really explain a lot, but sure. Useless little outfits here for the OGs that don't have them. Crocodile Man is back, which means Kyo, Monspeed, Shinra, possibly Tamaki. Those Ignite type characters, they're gonna be eating good. So Tamaki has a use case now. Moving on. We have the fan outfits from oh so long ago. And what is this? What is it? During the event period, you will earn loyalty based on the purchases in the adventure shop. Okay, yeah, cool. Basically pay to win stuff. And then they're gonna bring back Chaos PvP for the 18th time. Hooray! That boring ass game mode. Fucking killed me. They just love spamming the shitty game mode. Can we get like duplicate hero game mode back, please? Holy shit. It's been like 2 years. Is that it? Everything looks the same. 900. Yep. Indy, you can get if you spend 1500. Okay, sure. You can get a free TA, I guess. Everything else looks relatively standard. Nothing standing out to me at the moment. There's a bunch of stuff. Ooh, Sin has a Hawk Pass outfit now. That's cool. W Sin. And I don't know why they're saying these are new, but whatever. These are old as dirt. And system updates. Sacred Treasure Shop upgraded. So this is the new Sacred Treasure Shop screen. Nice. Yo, what is... That's gotta be. I don't know what I'm looking at. I'll find out when I get the shit in game, but like... And I didn't recommend a team... What? A recommended team registration feature will be added. So you can click on this bottom right and it'll recommend the team for the character. Ah, that's cool. The fuck is that? Legendary boss, conquest, co-op, and event boss. What is this? Now I know what legendary boss battle is. It's just final boss with extra steps. They're upgrading the deathmatch logo as well. What the hell is going on here? Event bosses. So basically they're giving all of these like time limited events their own tabs now. That's kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie, they look sick. But co-op, I don't know what the fuck that is. What could that possibly be? Is that like the Parinpu type shit? I don't know. Either way, that's cool. I like it. Team status for content is not currently accessible. Cannot be viewed. Here, registration rankings showing the rankings of heroes used in each content. Yep, this is Endura for Chaos. I see. Exclude collab heroes. That's... Yeah, good luck with that. And then bug fixes, miscellaneous. They added the attributes. That makes sense. Yeah, that's it. The update itself, kind of mid. Unless the Sabunak boss fight is fun. But the update is kind of mid. The character is cool. Sabunak buff and Holy Relic. Massive W. Massive W for the unemployed. Other than that, I think that's about it. So, I think this video is going on long enough. These patch notes are pretty freaking long, to be honest. That scroll wheel is very small. But the patch notes themselves weren't bad at all. So, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. Overall, should you summon on Salos? I'm going to say yes, even if you're a new player. Mainly because her banner is quote-unquote bad as people think it is. There's a lot of good characters there that you could use for everyday content. Especially characters like Naziance, Demon King, Sabunak if you need her, and people of that nature. Kusak, Hell. Like, there's some good characters in that banner that would be good to have on your account just because. So, that out of the way, that's going to be the video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know how I feel about this character. Let me know how I feel about the collab. Collab? No, fuck the collab. I don't care. Let me know how I feel about the patch notes. That's what I meant to say. And then I'll see y'all in the next video. So, peace, and have a wonderful day.